further back Emerging Market. Inside the two now, Decorated Hero gets the lead from Dashing Water. Here's Ben Rosie, those Swinburners sitting motionless. Now he starts to get to work, followed by Gymcrak Premier. Decorated Hero the far side being tackled by Ben Rosie. Inside the final furlong now, Ben Rosie and Decorated Hero stride for stride. Gymcrak Premier in all sorts of bother. It's Ben Rosie being tackled again by Decorated Hero, and flying home Gymcrak Premier, a three-way go. By golly, it's close. Gymcrak Premier, Decorated Hero and Ben Rosie. Three-way photo from Classic Sky. Further back in the field, no extras, followed then behind them by Emerging Market, and the rest have gone out of view. One of the tail enders is Dashing Water, but it's very tight indeed. A thrilling finish, and Gymcrak Premier on the near side, ridden by K Fallon, flashing home in the dying strides to get up and make it a three-way photo here, with 4 Ben Rosie in the centre and 5 Decorated Hero. So it's a three-way photo, and this horse, Gymcrak Premier, was having a devil of a job getting a run inside the final furlong.
Well, what a finish, a triumph for the handicapper, and can we tell you who's won? It was going to be Decorated Hero until the last stride of the race, and has he got there? Oh, this side, you cannot separate. Gymcrak Hero, a Premier on this side, Decorated Hero on the far side. One thing we can be sure of is that Ben Rosie is third. You don't get much closer than that. Well, if he hasn't got there, he's desperately unlucky. Gymcrak Premier, visored, you can see K Fallon looking for room. Walter Swinburne, having been in trouble himself early in the race, pulled out over 2 out, cruised into the lead, looks certain to win here. But Decorated Hero on the inside, who, as I say, has been a different type of character since he's been gelded, he battles back at Walter, just as Walter thought he had the race won. And now K Fallon finds he can't go between those two horses, so he's got to pull round, and time's getting very short, Jim.
I think, Julian, actually this might have won in the race. As you see there, he's really had to check. It's gave this horse really another wind here, because when he does get him out, he really flies. He's got a visor on today, and he's running blinkers before, but this is the first time he's actually running a visor for 2 seasons. Well, it's really worked here, because I think he might have dropped his head on the line. We watch the creep, but just look at him go. We've got Dedicated Hero with Philip Robinson on the rails, with Gymcrak Premier this side. It's very close, but I wouldn't like to say which one has won.
Well, that is a stunning finish, and look at the problems that K Fallon has on Gymcrak Premier. Up front we can see Walter Swinburne, that's on Ben Rosie, and the other one that we're looking at here, this is Decorated Hero. But the horse that we're looking at who has the problems is the horse with the pink cap, who is there. Now, what's K Fallon going to do? A steward's inquiry has been called, as you would expect. You can see these two horses racing neck and neck, and Kieran, you would think, would pull out here, because there is room to pull out in front of the Dunlop horse, who he's well clear of, but just a little bit of a gap, half comes there, but Walter, riding with his whip in his right hand, closes the gap between the two, and Kieran there runs into their heels. He runs into the heels of Decorated Hero, and now, well, there's no option, there's no question of going through, so he has to pull round and make his run.
It's funny, as I was saying, Julian, it's funny, it looks unlucky, and he would have been unlucky, but just when he had to snatch him up, sometimes it makes these seasoned campaigners really go all the way to the line. He's a great 7-year-old, he's had his experience, but today, well, I hope he has dropped his head in front, because as you say, he would have looked a very unlucky loser.
Well, very close indeed, and Jim